ultimately they're going to destroy America, man. All right, now let me jump into the book of Job, the 20th chapter, right? And I haven't brought this out in a long time, man. This is a nice one. This is a beautiful scripture. Right? It's Job, the 20th chapter, and I'm going to start at the 4th verse. It says, knowest thou not this of old, that man, since man was placed upon the earth, the triumphing of the wicked is sure, and the joy of the hypocrite for but a moment. All right, so you rejoice in the destruction of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. See, that joy is for about a moment, man. Right? Another a good example that comes to mind, and you rejoicing for the destruction of our people, is when you have out there. Is it in Rome? You got the Ark of Titus, man. The Ark of Titus was nothing but the rejoicing, right? The monument that they set up for rejoicing in the destruction of Judea, man. Right? They had it to where they destroyed the temple, man, because really our whole society, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, really revolves around the Most High, man. See, the Most High made us for his pleasure. That's why he likened us unto his woman, man. All right? So in destroying the temple and taking all the gold and all of the stuff that we had up in there, that was seen as a great thing, man. That's why you had it to where a lot of leaders, right, of the heathens wanted to do that, man. All right, but see, now we're having it to where the temple is being rebuilt up again, like it says in the book of Amos, 9th chapter, and the 9th verse. The Lord will command and sift the house of Israel like the corn is sifted in the sea. And in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David, the tabernacle of David that is fallen again. And what's another word for a tabernacle, man? A temple, man. All right, so the Most High is raising that up again, but see, it's not like unto the physical temple that you had back in the day. It's a spiritual temple in that we are the temple of the Most High, man. That's why the scripture says, man, when this man was going to see us pushing this word and pushing this truth like we are right now, man, great fear was going to fall upon him, man. And hey, when you go into the Revelations, the 12th chapter and the 12th verse, which I might get later on, all right, it tells you that Esau was going to come down having great breath. Why? Because he knows he has a short time. Because right now is the time where the Most High is bringing again the captivity of his people, man. Right, turning captivity on his head, man. Having it to where we're gonna possess our own possessors, man. All right, and you know what, man? If it's gonna come soon, man. It's gonna come soon, man. All right, because what you're gonna catch in this society is a headache, right? Hell, right? Like the scripture says, like the curses say, man. Right, failing of eyes, man. All right. Meaning to say you ain't going to be looking forward to the next day and so on and so forth, man. All right? So this is back in the scriptures. This is Job, the 20th chapter and the 5th verse. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short and the joy of a hypocrite for but a moment. So it's likened unto a moment, because when you go into the scriptures, back in the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, right? It says, knowest thou not that the day of the Lord is... No, that's the quote I'm looking for, but it's in the 2 Peter. It says that one day is with the Lord is 1,000 years, meaning the little 400 years that Esau's been in power, and the 400 years that we've been catching hell. That's really a moment, man. All right, that's a moment in the grand scheme of things, man. All right, because we're gonna live an eternity having these heathens in subjection. We're gonna live an eternity having these heathens in subjection. Notwithstanding, really, Esau's gonna be bound and burnt by the time you get 1,000 years of hardcore slavery out of the way, man. All right, but we're gonna be so, man. Hey, man, I haven't got the words to describe how good the kingdom of the Most High is gonna be for you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. Right, because you catch all of this hell, man. That's hell, man. Just having a good night's rest. That's beyond thinking, man. That's beyond thinking, man. All right, but the Most High, like it says, he gives his servants good rest. That's how we get through that, man. Right, to where you do get a good night's rest every now and then, man. But ultimately, the rest of your whole life is all jacked up, man. All right, but the Most High is gonna deliver his men, but you gotta do this work, man. You gotta be out here, man. All right, you gotta be doing what you're supposed to be doing, man. Right, which is this work. When you go into the book of what is it? The scripture. What the scripture is in Ecclesiasticus, the 12th chapter and the 13th verse. It says here, this is the conclusion of the whole matter: fear the Most High and keep His commandments. Right, because pretty much that's the whole duty of man. It's the whole duty, right? The purpose to which the Israelite man was created was to worship the Most High, man. Right, to do His will, to do His work, man. All right, which ultimately is gonna transpire. Right now, it's all about praising the Most High and pushing this word out, right, to our people, so that they be taught. But once everybody, once the elite wake up, the elect wake up to the truth, the Lord said He's gonna make us a nation of kings and priests. All right. So we're gonna be where we're gonna transpire to is gonna be transpiring into the masters of this society, man. Right, the ones that's gonna institute judgment, institute the laws, man. So you got police out here, they're so-called instituting the law or the land and all of that, man. See, but we're actually gonna be instituting the law or the scriptures, man, and the punishments by way of the scriptures, man. So you ain't gonna have it to where you got, people doing all kind of wickedness in our society, man. Right, things that are worthy of death, man. We're gonna just chop their heads off, man, and use them as an example of this is what happens when you go off, man. All right. Let me get back onto this. It says, this is the 6th verse. Though His excellency mount up to the heavens and His head reach onto the clouds. So you got it to where they have it to where they got their chariots going up there in the sky and all of that, man. Where they so-called what do they call them? Spaceships and that, man. All right. And their skyscrapers, they reach onto the clouds. Although His excellency reaches onto the clouds, see, it's unfathomable when Esau's powers are, right? You got to where Jakes actually believe Esau's gonna go on forever. That's why they're voting and all of that, man. They see no society where Esau doesn't rule, man. All right, but the Most High ain't with that, man. The Most High ain't with that. He says, though His excellency mount up to the heaven, all right, and though His excellency mount up to the heaven and His head reach unto the clouds, yet He shall perish forever like His own dung, and they would see Him. So I'll say, where is He, man? All right, and I quoted it. Let me get it in the I'm gonna get it in the book of Obadiah, man. Go straight to the point. Alright, it's going to be in the book of Obadiah. Trying to get the pages sticking together on that, man. Right, this is the book of Obadiah. And this is in the 16th verse, alright? So it says, For as ye have drank upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. So, first and foremost, it says the heathen. So that's talking about really all the nations. If you drank, you persecuted you've been, you put all kind of hell upon the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. All right, so you're gonna drink off of that, man. You're gonna get the judgment that comes by way of doing it, man. All right. Another thing that it says here, it says, and they shall be as they not have been. All right. When you go into the book of Revelations, the 18th chapter, it says, the nations, when they saw the smoke of a burning, shall mourn, because they know they're not gonna live how they live right now, man. They're not gonna be as how they are right now, just doing all kind of wickedness, man. Just going about doing what they will. That's the mantra of the society, man. Do what I will, man. YOLO, man. You only live once. But the scriptures doesn't speak about you only living once, man. The scripture says you're gonna come back in the next life, right, and play out your judgment, man. Right? And that's why a lot of these Edomites, why they complain about an ungodly father, man. The scripture talks about them complaining about an ungodly father, man. Because why? Because they're gonna come back and serve that judgment, man. Of which they are their fathers, man. See, all of their forefathers had our people in hardcore slavery, man. Hey, like the scripture says, man, in Revelations, the 13th chapter and the 9th verse, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, man. Here's the faith and the patience of the saints. Our faith and our patience, right, in catching the hell that we're catching now, right, lieth in that statement, man. It lies within that statement, in that they're gonna come back as their own children, and we're gonna have them in a hardcore state of being in slavery, man. Or they're gonna play out their judgment, man, which is gonna be a damn beautiful thing. So this is back in the book of Obadiah, the 15th chapter, no, the 16th. It says 17th. But unto Mount Zion shall be the deliverance. Didn't say all the heathen. Didn't say Ammon, Moab, and Ishmael, all of that. It says upon Mount Zion shall be the deliverance. All right, and they shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess possess their possessions, man. So we're gonna take you, we're gonna spoil you, we're gonna have you for beauties, man. Right? When you go into the scriptures, when it says, when the scripture talks about when you're taking down them different nations, man. Right? It says you take booties, man. You take spoils, man. Right? So that's talking about the spoils of war that we're gonna be taking, man. All right? Mainly these different nations, women, man. All right, which they be taking Jake any goddamn way. All right, but we're gonna be taking them for spoils, man. Hey, when you go into the book of Revelations, Isaiah the 13th chapter, right? It says their wives are gonna be ravished, man. Right, so part of the taking the spoils is gonna be taking them women, man, right, and enjoying them. All right, that's gonna be part of taking down this society. Right, another thing that's gonna come by way of taking this society down is the wealth, man. The riches, man. And I'm not talking about Federal Reserve notes, man. I'm not talking about Bank of England, pieces of paper, man. I'm talking about wealth as in land, right? Castles, right? Gold, silver. That's the riches that the Most High deals with. Going to show you that this society, right? This society is wicked, man. But you're supposed to give a man a certain amount of gold, all right? So that after he works for you, right, for a certain period of time, that person can set up their own businesses based off of what he's learned underneath you, man. All right, that's one of our customs. That's actually within our law, man. All right. So it says there, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, but the house of Esau shall be stubble. All right. And what happens when you join stubble and a fire and a flame? The stubble combusts, man. It burns, man. All right. It says, and they shall kindle in them, and they shall devour them, and there shall be not any remaining of the house of Esau. For the Lord has spoken it, man. So the Lord has spoken it. He's put it within His scriptures that there ain't gonna be any of the house of Esau remaining, man. All right. So after, look, man, you Edomites, after you're just gonna be wiped off the face of the earth, man. You're just not gonna exist anymore, man. All right. You're just not going to exist anymore, man. All right. It's back in the book of Job, the 20th chapter, and this is 7th verse, man. It says, and they shall perish forever like his own dung, and they which have seen him shall say, where is he? And he shall fly away as a dream, right, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. I said, and I also that saw him shall see him no more. So after a period of time, you're gonna be like, yo, man, where is Esau, man? All right, where is the man that made the earth to tremble, man? That did us weaken the nations, like it says in the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter. Why? Because the Most High is gonna do away with Esau. All right, there will be no need for the wicked anymore, man. All right. So these other nations, they're gonna be doing their wickedness, but that's why you're gonna have it to where you got Jake's ruling out there, man. All right, it says there, his children shall seek to please the poor. So he's bouncing back and forth in time. All right, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. Right, it says, and his bones are full of the sin of his youth. Right, we shall lie down with him in the dust. It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, and though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it, but it'll go, but keep it still within his mouth. All right. So wickedness is sweet in the mouth of Esau, right? All that he's doing out there in this, on earth, right now, man, to where you got animals dying, you got fish washing up on the sea, of which, man, that's props to you, man. If you can get it to where the earth is that defiled and as vast as the ocean is, man, you got it to where animals are washing up on the sea because chemicals and so on and so forth that you put out in there, man. That's a hard thing to do, man. Right, it really is kind of, you got delicate ecosystems and so on and so forth, right, that you can find out there in the natural world, and you adjust one factor, for instance, you might have it to where you have an ecosystem based off of having a creature in there, but if there's too much of that dominant creature, there ain't gonna be no food left in it. Right, that's what you call a delicate ecosystem. But when you go to where the sea, right, the sea is so vast they really ain't. It ain't all that delicate, man. If you wanna, if you got it to where creatures that live within that ecosystem wanna feed upon something, they can always fight it, man. Don't understand. You got coral reefs and so on and so forth. Those are so-called delicate ecosystems, man. But the rest is not. See what's washing up upon the sea. The birds are not what you call animals are delicate creatures, man. And they fly in that, man, so they can get food from wherever. And you got it to where they're dying off, man. See, that goes to show you just how wicked this man is, man. That's how much poisons he's putting out there in the air. All right, how much poisons he's putting out there in the food. All right, to where the creatures that eat all of that, man, they're dying off, man. Now, see, where you're so-called human beings and you're bigger than that, so you're just gonna die slower, man. And that's why cancer is at all-time high. But they say the medical industry has made so much advancements that we're so-called better off than the man of old. But if you look at the man of old, he was stronger mentally and physically than what you have now, man. All right, you got it to where cancers are running rampant and so on and so forth. All right. Well, you do have what you have known now as a population increase. At the beginning of the so-called industrial age, with which they attribute population increase to the so-called industrial revolution. But really, population increase was to the fact that the Mosai was going to play out judgment upon the people. That's why you can't have a mount on the troops without no people, man. So the Mosai increased the amount of people that was in the earth to where you can actually have it to where that happens, man. Right? When you go into the book of Psalms, the 58th chapter, 10th verse, it says, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. Right? If there ain't no wicked for him to wash his feet in, that prophecy won't be played out. So they attribute that so-called population increase to the industrial revolution, but really that goes back onto the scriptures to where the Messiah had it to where all of the people upon the earth right now, so they can see the judgment play out. Right, but see, things is gonna go back to normality when we get back into when the Messiah sets up his kingdom, man. All right, it's back in the book of Job, the 20th chapter, and this is the 14th verse. It says, "There is meat and his bowels is turned, right? It is the God's apps within him, right? He hath swallowed down riches, but he shall vomit them up again." So, riches, whether it be oil, right, opium, or gold and silver, which they've stolen off all the people. That's why they give you them banknotes and so on and so forth, which ain't real money, right? It's supposed to be real money is gold and silver. All right, they've swallowed down all of those riches. The Most High said they're gonna vomit them back up. All right, it says he shall suck the poison of the asp, and the viper's tongue shall slay him. It says he shall not see the rivers, right, and the floods of the brooks, or the honey of the bar. And it says that which he has labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down, right? According to his substance shall the restitution be, because he has oppressed and forsaken the poor. Who is the poor, man? The Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. He's forsaken and oppressed the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, right? So the Most High set it to where he's going to, like it says here, that which he has labored for, the so-called New World Order. He's laboring for that. He's putting work into that. When you go into Psalms the 83rd chapter, all right, it talks about them taking crafty counsel against the anointed of the people or the Most High, man. All right, so they're actually out there having meetings, and round table meetings, right, gathering together, right, and conspiring against the people of the Most High, right. But the Lord is gonna have it to where not only is his path his path is getting straightened, all right. The scripture's saying here, man, he's going to restore that which he's labored for, man. He's going to vomit up all of those riches he's acquired in pursuing his so-called New World Order, man. He's going to vomit them up, man. Right? And it says here, and really, I believe when you go into that word restore, really it talks about taking away, man, forcibly taking those riches, as in us taking those that wealth. It really is wrongfully stolen off of us, man. All right? But that was all for us to play the part of catching hell, but to learn the fullness of judgment, man. All right. So it's the 20th verse. Surely he shall not feel the quietness in his belly, and he shall not save of that which he hath desired. It says, there shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. And it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency shall he be in straits. Right? So when you're just about to fulfill your so-called New World Order agenda, man, that's when you're going to be in the most dire straits, man. Like they say, dire straits, the most difficulty, man. All right, you're in the most difficulty right now because you're trying to acquire your so-called new world order. You're desperately trying to implement it, but every time you're turning, you're finding out that I'm trying to quote the exact scripture in the book of Job, the 18th chapter. It says you gotta watch on every side, man. All right. Because you got it to where the wicked on every side, they're trying to get you, man. These different heathen nations, man, right? They're trying to get you, man. Right? They're trying to destroy America, man. All right. All right. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency shall they be in straits, but every hand of the wicked shall be upon him. It says, when he's about to fill his belly, Most High casts him down, man. So when he's just about to do it, man, Most High's gonna throw you down, man. All right. It says, the Most High shall cast his fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it down upon him whilst he's eating. So you'll be just acquiring all of that, maybe chipping everybody out there with the mark of the beast. And the Most High is gonna rain down those missiles upon you, man. He's gonna rain down all of those missiles upon you, man. See, that's one of the major prophecies that still kind of has to be played out. You know, the technology and all of that is out there, all right. But we're waiting for them to institute it, and really, that's gonna be a beautiful day in itself. It's a drink-worthy day, man. All right, you know, the Most High is gonna actually have it to where that's gonna play out, man. All right. It says there, this is the 24th verse. He shall flee from the iron weapon. This is talking about the missiles, man. Right? He shall flee from the iron weapon. The bowl of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn, it cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of the gall. Right? Terrors are upon it, man. So when the Russians and the Chinese press that button, right, terrors is gonna be upon you, man. All right. It says, "All darkness is hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him." And that goes to prove that it's talking about those ICBM nuclear missiles, man, because that's like a fire not blown. To where, you know, you got sticks and you start a fire and you scratch the fire out, right? This nuclear technology is like a different type of fire, man. Well, you ain't gonna strike a match or anything.